everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I have decided to do an unboxing on camera, even though I have previously stated that I would not be doing book hauls anymore on this channel. The reason being that I have changed my opinion on book hauls. I still believe that they shouldn't be as popular as they seem to be on BookTube, because there is more to BookTube than just book hauls. But basically, I sometimes miss to show you my excitement for books whenever I receive new ones. And that is why I have decided today to unbox these books on camera, which I am really excited about. Before I get started on the actual unboxing, I have two books that I would like to show you, which I received earlier this week and which I was meant to unbox in this video, but I just couldn't wait anymore. First one being Swing Time by Zadie Smith, her newest release, which I'm currently reading and currently loving. It's about these two girls whom we follow from they are children until they become adults, and the way that it is structured, this story, makes it really interesting, and the way it is written also. And the next book is a book that I bought exclusively because of its beauty, and that is Heartless by Marissa Meyer, which looks like this on the inside. I believe it's a retelling of a fairy tale, and it's written for young adults. So let's get started on the actual unboxing, and I think I'm going to start with the smaller package. All of these new books are books that I found through Goodreads, because they did a vote recently, maybe they are still doing it, about the best books of 2016. And of course I got some inspiration from that list, so most of the titles you're going to see today are going to be some of the best fiction from 2016, at least according to Goodreads. Okay, so the first book I see is so interesting to me, because I have never read anything from this author before, even though she is extremely popular. And this is by Jodi Picoult. It's called Small Great Things. It's one of her most recent releases, if not the most recent one, I believe. And as I said, I have never read anything by Jodi Picoult before, so this is going to be so interesting. And I don't remember what most of these books are about. That's the way it is with book hauls, that you receive new books and then sometimes you forget what they are actually about. But I will tell you once I read it and review it, obviously. Also, such a pretty book. I really like it. So let me give my cat this. Now let's move on to the very big box. And this one contains even more gorgeous books. I love it already. So, are you ready to see some gorgeous books, which are also supposed to be really good according to Goodreads? Anyway, first book I see is Truly Madly Guilty by Liane Moriarty. I think this one is about family life and how it can be a struggle to be in a relationship when you also have children and your everyday work to do. Marriage, sex, parenthood and friendship, it says on the inside cover. And also a really stunning book. I appreciate it so much whenever the publishers make sure that the content is good as well as the way the book looks. Next book is even prettier if you ask me, and that is The Brightest of the World. No, this one is serious. To the Bright Edge of the World by Ewan Ivey. Now, I got this book because I have read a book by Ewan Ivey last year, which turned out to become my favorite book of the year, or at least one of those. I'm talking about this one, The Snow Child by Ewan Ivey, which is such a beautiful read about snow and Alaska and parenthood. I really liked it. So of course I was interested to read more by her, and this one is her newest release. It looks so stunning, and once again I cannot tell you what it's about, but I can tell you that I'm very excited to get into her authorship even more. Then we have a hardback which you might have seen around on BookTube, and that is Jane Steele by Lindsay Fay. This is a book that is based on the story of Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, my all-time favorite classic. So of course I was interested to read this one as well. Even though it's not really a retelling, it's still based on my favorite classic. So this one follows a main character who, as I said, is based on Jane Eyre, but her story in this book develops very differently from Jane Eyre, so you cannot predict what is happening, but you will be able to see some similarities between the classic and this story, I believe. And also, once again, a beautiful, beautiful book. Next one is also a hardback, and that is The Nest by Cynthia D'Aprix Sweeney. Now, I don't like it when the author's name is pretty much hidden on the cover, and that's the case with this one, but I do love this cover, and I do love the fact that it was praised as one of the best fiction books of 2016 on Goodreads. I believe it's another one of those books that is about family life, and I am a sucker for those books when they are realistic and when they deal with everyday problems. I'm hooked for some reason. It has been blurbed by Amy Poehler, who says that it is intoxicating. She couldn't stop reading, so all of those are good signs to me. And also, I really love the books in this haul. They are so gorgeous. Then we have a book by Margaret Atwood. This is Hackseed, and this is part of a series that is being published these days, which deal with Shakespeare's plays but in a different format. Each book is written by a new author who has selected one of Shakespeare's plays and has turned it into a modern story. This one is based on The Tempest by Shakespeare, which I haven't read, I must admit, but I do love Margaret Atwood, and I also do have another of those books in this series which I still haven't read, but it's called Vinegar Girl by Anne Tyler, and this one is based on The Taming of the Shrew, I believe. Yes, it is. So now I have these two to look forward to. I think it's a really great concept how they reimagine the plays of Shakespeare into modern stories. I really like that concept. The Trip to Echo Spring on Riders and Drinking by Olivia Laing. Now, if you follow my videos regularly, you will know that I have recently gotten very much into Olivia Laing and her fiction, which is not fiction. I was trying to say that she actually writes non-fiction. I have written one of her books, which is placed right here. This one is about loneliness and being lonely in a big city, and I absolutely loved it. I own another of her books, which is about, well, I think it's about alcoholism, or maybe this is the one. Yeah, this is the one about alcoholism and how that can affect people's art and writing, and it follows some great authors through the time who have been affected by alcoholism. And then the last book, I must admit, I do not remember. It's something about Virginia Woolf and rivers, but that's all I can say. But basically, I am so excited to get to know Olivia Laing better, and once again, I just really like this hardback book. We Were the Mulvaneys by Joyce Carol Oates. I am getting very much into Joyce Carol Oates. I love her stories. I love how she creates a plot that is so twisted and yet so interesting, and that is why I want to read even more by her. And someone suggested this one to me, which I had already had my eyes on, so I decided to actually get it. The second to last book is A Small Hotel by Robert Olen Butler. Now let me find the other book I have read by him. I think it was last month that I read Perfume River by Robert Olen Butler, and it's another one of those books that I fell in love with, so I wanted to read more by him, and I was recommended A Small Hotel, which is a very cute little paperback. And that leads me to the very last book in this haul, and that is The Two Family House by Linda Cohen Lloydman. I think that's how you say it. So this one takes place in New York. No, it just takes place in a family house, which maybe looks like this, and it deals with two families, obviously, and I can't remember too much else, but yeah, this one just sounded interesting to me from reading the synopsis back when I ordered the books, and I also like how it looks, and it looks like it's going to deal with family life once again, and I just really like those stories because they seem cozy and safe to me, and that's how I want to feel like whenever I sit down and read. The box is empty. That is it for my book haul. I hope that my excitement for these books somehow shone through in this video, because that is why I wanted to do this unboxing on camera. And I also hope you enjoyed seeing some of the newer titles I have acquired from my bookshelves, and which you might hopefully see my review of in the very near future. Thank you so much for watching, and happy reading!